Bitch here, we got the 8L90 and the 6L80 transmissions. We get asked a lot the difference in these two transmissions physically and what will fit, what will not. Let's get a front view of them. So obviously from the front there's no difference on size. Now let's get a view over here. It might be a little harder to tell in video, so I'm just going to go and look at different angles. They're actually the exact same length on the back, the 4x4s, so no difference in length. So now we'll go to the front. Front's lined up. Now what's interesting, you see that they're the same length. You would think the 8L90 would be a lot bigger, but actually the 6L80 protrudes more here. This section protrudes more. This comes down lower and slopes much. This has more of a slope to it. That does not. Which explains why we gained clearance putting the 8-speed in my C10. We were kind of confused about that. Why we didn't have any clearance issues, because we had more clearance issues with the 6-speed. And so the 8L90 did clear slightly better. Now these are both sitting on their oil pans. Looking down here, the oil pan on the 8L90 is fairly shallow. We'll look at the 6L80. 6L80 pan is much deeper. So that's interesting. But with both transmissions setting on the pans, I'd say, what do you think, Matt? You think they're about the same height?
About the same.
Yeah. I know it's probably a little deceiving since they're sitting on the pans. But they're both level as far as I can tell.
Yeah, they're both level here too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're level here. Now we can see the torque converter. You got 3 bolts for a 6L80. And we got, what, 6 bolts on these bad boys. What we did find out is you can use a 6L80 flex plate with an 8L90. You just elongate the holes like we used to do on LS swaps for three of the holes on the torque converter. And you can use a 6L80 just fine. This is what I did on my pickup truck. So, but if you need a torque flex plate, you can buy them from GM. They're about $65 for either model. Now you see you get your dipstick goes in right here. This has a plastic plug, a fill plug. You can pull this off and put a 6L80 dipstick in this transmission. Robbie at Motech, he figured that out. So you can use standard 6L80 dipsticks in these so they're easier to fill when they're installed. The torque capacity of this one is around 700, mid 700 foot-pound torque. I think 740, 750. These are around, I believe, 400. And even though these are rated at more power, you have to use torque management for it to work that way, for your shift points and things like that. Which is how these work anyway. You got to have a good controller. Pretty much the only way I know to control these is with the OEM computer. Here's this is Sweet Performance. ICT Built sells these as well, so you can run 6 AN lines off this, but it doesn't have the built-in thermostat. Where factory 8L90 lines will have a, here they are. It actually has a built-in thermostat. That's why it's such a big part. So I'm going to use that on my C10. Another tip is you can convert a 8L90 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive or vice versa by removing this part. You can drop out the rear output, it's only about this long, and put a 2-wheel drive tail housing. Unfortunately, 6LEs don't work that way. The output shaft runs to the entire transmission, so you cannot convert a 4-wheel drive to a 2-wheel drive without full disassembly. This one was a 2-wheel drive transmission. A 2-wheel drive can be converted to a 4-wheel drive, and you cut this shaft down and you block these oil galleys and put a 4-wheel drive housing on it, and you'll be good to go. But pretty interesting to see that the transmission size is so similar, and that the 8L90 is, from what I can tell, slightly better on clearance on the tunnel. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Bye.